Hi everyone, we're back again. This is episode four, and the last episode of our journey that we've been taking with Yesenia. If you missed any of those previous episodes, they're in the same area as this one, so you can just go back and take a look, and you can watch episode one, two, and three if you haven't seen them before, and just get caught up that way. So we're going to pick up where we left off, which was Yesenia had just, entered for treatment down in Mexico. So we left off where she was telling us of some of the experiences that she had in the clinic, and so I think we're going to just pick it up from there, and we'll just let Yesenia continue to tell us what happened down there in the clinic as she was going through her healing process.
Yes, thank you, Steve. uh, yes, okay, so just to summarize, we ended on episode 3, me being at Hope for Cancer, but I wanted to just rewind a little bit more and go all the way back to the San Diego place, just to mention something, because I have learned so much in every place that I went to, and the friendships that came out from the people that I met. And I think it's really important for me to mention that when I was in San Diego, and there was a group of maybe 15 people, and we were together for a whole week, and we started, this like beautiful friendship, and everybody was struggling with something. Everybody that was there was struggling with something, not necessarily with cancer. There was only 2 people, just it was me and somebody else, and the other person was in just not a good place at all. She had stage 4 cancer, and she was struggling a lot. So the relationships that I was able to form there, and the learnings that I had in San Diego were impacted me so much. And it's just really interesting, Steve, that since then I feel that even going back then, 2021, I feel that those lessons and those teachings are still like unfolding and turning into something else. I'm still integrating, right? I'm still like doing that as I think about it, as I write about it. It's still unfolding. So there was a lot of love in the clinic. There was a lot of love and a lot of caring. I was just, very like, it really touched my heart to see people that were really struggling with a lot of different things, that they had so much love to give, right? Because you would think that somebody who's sick and has struggled a lot in life, they will be bitter, right?
Right.
And the people that I was making connections with, there was just like love. There was like nothing else than love and compassion. And I do want to mention, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but that's also when I heard about Dr. Joe Dispenza. And that's when I really started meditating. And that's the first place where I started like really praying, like with purpose, right? Okay, so then when I move forward to Hope for Cancer, then now I am in front of a group of people that everybody's stage 4. Everybody's stage 4. There was a couple of people that were not, which I was one of them. And the pain that they had was just like excruciating pain, right? And they were on morphine, they were like on all these different things. And the level of love that those people had for each other, and because they saw that I was freaking out, they were dealing with their issues for many years, and this was new for me. Some would say it gets easier with time, Yesenia, right? And I was like, I don't want to hear that, right? I don't want to accept that it's going to get easier with time. But they just had all this wisdom, and more than anything, all this love. So there were people that were really, really struggling, stage 4. And in my lowest moments, they were coming to me to help me and to give me the support that I needed.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And yes, so I really feel that I found like a new family and a new love, like a new type of love in a relationship.
Yes.
I just didn't know that was possible before. And it sounds crazy, but now looking back, I am grateful for the experiences, and I am grateful that that happened to me so I can go and experience what I did, because it's really meaningful. Unconditional love, it's not typical, or it's not, like you don't see it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody that loves you has, conditions, like I'll love you if you, of course they don't tell you, but it's like, I love you, but you need to do this and this and this, and you need to behave like this in order for me to keep loving you. If not, I'm gonna not love you that much, right? The love there was unconditional love, and they were caring for me when I was pretty much healthy. I was really healthy, right? So I just wanted to go back and just mention that, because it's worth mentioning, and it's really important for me that I found so much love there. Oh, and then something really cute that also happened when I was there. There were 3 people in the clinic. One was like a nurse, like an assistant, and he looked just like one of my brothers.
Wow.
Like he looked, but it was like beyond looking like one of my brothers. Like there was like a feeling of like, my brother is here, right?
Yeah.
Like I could feel it. I'm like, I know that he physically looks like my brother, but how I feel is like my brother is here.
Wow. Yeah.
And he didn't talk, he was not my nurse, he wouldn't talk to me much, but wherever I was sitting and I would look, it would just make me feel like I'm not alone.
Yeah.
Like I'm not alone right here, right? And then there was another patient and her mom. And this is another story, because the patient reminded me of one of my sister-in-law. I had 2, one of them, and then the mom, it was just like my mother-in-law. She sounded like her. She didn't look like her, but she sounded like her, and they had the same personality. So my sister-in-law and that girl had the same personality, and we became very, very close, and we will go on walks together, and I really felt like I was with them.
Oh, wow.
And it was just like really interesting that like I really feel like they were sent to me. Like if there's such thing as, like we just don't know if there's such thing as like, God sending angels to you. They were my angels, because they were there, and I always felt safe. Like, okay, they're there, right? Like I'm not alone. So that's something that I just want to mention, and the impact that those meditations that I started doing with Dr. Joe Dispenza, they were profound, and they still are, and they're still going. Okay, so so now moving forward, the doctor came in my room, told me it's not, there's no cancer in your body,
Right.
the PET CT scan is cleared. He left my room, and then this is where things just got really, really confusing. He came back 30 minutes later, and I wasn't packing, but I felt maybe I could pack and just go home, right? I mean, there's no cancer in my body. Why am I going to stay here, right? And so he came back and he said, these were his words, the fact that your PET CT scan doesn't show any cancer does not mean that you don't have it.
Yeah. So we're not out of the woods yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that was really confusing, because I was already, I had already, called my husband, and I was already thinking like I'm good. And I think the main thing was like, I can now go back to my life. I don't have to change anything. I can just go back, keep living my life, being married, having this new family, all is good. and then he comes in here and then he says that, right? So he did bring a lot of doubt and fear back, but the fact that there was a clear PET CT scan made me feel like pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And
okay, so you're not out of the woods yet.
right. Yes, so he with his statement, and he's a doctor, and he's saying it doesn't mean you don't have it, so fear and doubt are back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, I think it was like a week or a week and a half after that, I went home with 3 months of treatment, natural treatments, very intense treatments, where you go home and there's really nothing else that you can do other than treatments all day, right? It included juicing a lot. I had to juice a lot. I was eating vegan and like really low carbs, and that was like such a hard diet. And also I was doing a lot of coffee enemas, and that just takes a lot of time. So then I'm home, in my mission number one at this point is I need to go back to a surgeon that doesn't know my history so they can take the breast implants out. Because as soon as I had a diagnosis, nobody wanted to remove the breast implants anymore. The doctors were saying to me, the implants will come out when we remove your breasts, right? So I'm back, I'm looking for a new surgeon. I find one, I don't tell him anything about history, so he can just remove them, right? Which, it was a risk that I was willing to take. I believe that it was about a month after I came back that my appointment was set. It was really, really quick, and I got the breast implants removed.
Excuse me.
It's okay. What was really interesting, Steve, was that when I had the breast implants removed, I did request for the capsules. There's a capsule that forms on the implant. That capsule, your body forms that. It's just like a scar, kind of like tissue, protecting you from the implants. And I requested that those capsules were sent to pathology so they could check them for cancer, right? And I just said, I was not specific, right? I'm just like, just check them for anything, right? Cancer and everything else that you guys check for. And about a week later, I got the results back, and the capsules had no cancer at all. Wow. And what I was told when I was in the clinic in Tijuana, Mexico, I was told that, because there were 3 lumps, right? 3 tumors, that one of them was like less, it was just centimeters from the capsule. So then they checked that, and there's no cancer on the capsules, right? So then at that point, I'm thinking, okay, then I'm fine, right? Like there's nothing wrong with me. So I'm feeling better at this point. And the only thing that was still really affecting me was having a lot of headaches, because I had this neck pain that wouldn't go away. So the headaches never stopped. The neck pain never stopped. And that was keeping me up all night. And then it will go away for like a few days, and then it will come back. So I had to be taking, Advil, Tylenol all the time, because I had headaches. I had a headache like every day that wouldn't go away. There was not a day that I would say I don't have a headache today, right? So I was still dealing with that, and nobody was able to figure out what was wrong with my neck at that point. Later on, we figured it out, but at that point we still didn't know. So then it was time for me to go back, because I had a 3-month follow-up, and I had to go back to Mexico, especially now that the breast implants were out. I had to go back so they can run more tests and see if the lumps were gone at that point, or if there was like any progress of them like getting smaller. So my husband and I fly there, and the doctors start doing all the scans, and the day that they delivered my results, they told me that I was told that the lumps were bigger, that they were growing.
Phew.
Yeah. And I just didn't know how to take that. And what's interesting is that, my husband and I had a conversation before I received the results. And the conversation was, this was like me talking to my husband saying, you know what, no matter what those results are, I just want to get back to my life,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I'm going to handle things differently because I've been doing so much for the last 3 months. Like all I did was the therapies. I wasn't working. I didn't have a social life, just like nothing, there was like nothing in my life other than doing therapies. And I was exhausted and I was afraid of what the results were going to be, right? Even though like everything was indicating that it should be fine, but okay, so then now the lumps were bigger. And the doctors at this point asked me to go back to LA, to come back to LA and to get a couple of drugs, not chemotherapy, but to get a couple of drugs. One is called Perjeta and the other one's called Herceptin. And that suppresses the growth of a tumor, right? And I'm just very disappointed because that's exactly what I was trying to avoid. Right? And then I felt that I just did a big circle, spent so much money, went into so much debt for them to say, go back and do this, right? And I was not willing to do that. That's that was the problem, that I just was not willing to do it.
Right.
And I was just feeling I'm not supposed to do that. And it was so strong, right? So I come back and my first son that was supposed to go to college, it was time for him to go to college. So it was busy. I came back. I'm overwhelmed. I'm disappointed. I'm tired. I don't know what to do at this point. And I flew with my son to drop him off to college, right? Go drop him off, come back, thinking once I go back, I'll figure it out, right?
Yeah.
So then I'm back, and then depression hit me because of my son being away. He was my first one moving away.
Yeah, that's tough.
And it hit me in such a bad way because I was not okay emotionally. And there was a lot of things that were not going well in my life. Business was not really there anymore. My relationship with my husband was not really there anymore. And now, I got in an airplane and I came back after dropping off one of my sons that lived with me my entire life, right? So I felt like a big piece of me was missing. And it was really, really tough. So then, come back. I don't know how to handle anything anymore. I'm just, whatever is falling apart, I'm letting it fall apart. And I really don't know what is going to be the next step. So I think what determined that was that one day my husband was in the garage with one of his friends, and his friends was in the business of solar panels. And I was just doing my things, my therapies and everything. And I walked in the garage and they were talking about solar panels and installing solar panels in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband asked me, he said, do you see yourself like living here for the next 2 to 5 years? Because we're talking about the possibility of installing solar panels. And the only way that it will make sense is if we're still like, because I will always talk about when we first bought the house, I said, this is the first house, but I want to move somewhere else, right? I don't want to stay here. And when he asked me, do you see yourself living here for the next 2 to 5 years? Then the whisper showed up again. And it was really loud. I felt it so strong in my body, in my head, in my heart. And he asked me, and when I needed to respond, I was just like shocked because the answer was, no, I do not see myself living here, and I do not see myself in this marriage. So not only do I not see myself living in this house, but I don't see myself in this marriage.
Yeah, so I mean, if you think about it, just to summarize, I think 3 months of saving your life effectively, focusing on saving your life. And then in those 3 months, a lot of things change, right? Your career changed, your income changed, the prognosis changed, not losing him, but, losing your first son to college. These are all just big life-changing things that are happening all at once. So we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to find out, how did you deal with this? I mean, what was the next step after, pretty much getting the whisper again saying, yeah, we probably don't see you here in the next few years. So we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. I think the way we left it off is, you had 3 months of turmoil, and then you come back and things just aren't the same as you left it. So let's just kind of pick it up from there.
Yeah. Yes. So I feel that I kept trying to fix things or fix, everything that I was going through, so I can just get back to my previous life, right?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get back into what I was doing, what I was doing, and every attempt that I made, there was like something blocking from doing that. And in that moment when I really felt that voice in my head again, that whisper again, I knew in that moment that there was no going back to that. That at that moment, it had to be it wasn't working for anybody anymore. Like no one was happy anymore, right?
Right.
And in that moment, I just felt there's no way around it. And this what's happening right now is not gonna work out if I don't make changes.
Right.
So at this point, right after that, my husband moved out, and we started the separation process, and that allowed me a lot of time to, because I was alone in the house most of the time, and then my kids, Fernando was in college, and Alex was working most of the time, and then my youngest son was in school, so I spent a lot of time on my own. And that was very healing. So just having that solitude, and it just allowed me all the time that I needed to meditate, to pray, to nourish my body with all the juices and everything that I was making. And more than anything, it allowed me to bring my energy back to myself.
Yeah.
Because I did not feel grounded, I did not feel connected, and it was like a very healing time where I really felt like I took my energy back, and I just started feeling better. I started traveling, so I went to a couple of Joe Dispenza retreats, which were 7-day week-long retreats of meditation. I traveled to nature, to many different places. I went to Peru, I went to Cancun, I went to Marco Island, and I was just, it's not like I was running away from anything, because sometimes people would say, what are you running away from? And I said, no, I'm not running away from anything. This is what inspires me, and this is what gives me purpose, and this is what makes me happy.
Yeah.
And I just, started just gathering all this new knowledge, new wisdom. So many things were changing, and everything just felt better at that point.
Yeah.
And I did write something that I don't want to forget, and I'm just going to open my phone really quick, because I do want to make sure in all this traveling that I did, all the people that I met, there were just there was magic everywhere. There was magic everywhere. There was a lot of miracles and a lot of synchronicities that were happening that was a confirmation for me that I was on the right path, that was my path. And this is what I think and feel that I was gathering when I did all that traveling, was that I just had a new level of awareness, a new level of awareness, wisdom in knowing, right? A different way of living my life. And it definitely changed the way that I handle things, the way that I handle my emotions, the way that I live my life. And now I really feel that I'm able to surrender to the moment, to the situation, and just trust that what is happening is something that I'm supposed to live, but it comes with a gift. It's never like, even if it feels bad in the moment, there's always a gift, and I find it, maybe not in the moment, but it will be there. And I have this knowing that life is unfolding for me the way that it's supposed to, and that I'm always protected and guided. I really feel that guidance, and it comes in my dreams. It shows up in my dreams. After a meditation, I just have this new awareness, and I know I've been journaling a lot, and I ask questions, and I know when the questions are coming from my higher self or when it's just my mind speaking, right? And I still don't know, Steve, like why this happened, right? I just know the gifts that I have so far, and my life is still unfolding.
Right.
And the gifts of everything that I went through, they're still coming. They're still coming. One of the greatest gifts that I received was the gift of not only feeling unconditional love coming from another person, because I have like a big community of friendships, and that love that comes from them is unconditional love. So I've been receiving a lot of that unconditional love, and just recently I was actually able to feel that unconditional love going out from my heart to others. And again, I might not know why this happened, but what I do know is that I do know how love feels like, and I do know what unconditional love feels like, and is the greatest gift that I could have ever received. And I'm so grateful for it. And it's interesting because Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this all the time. Well, a couple of things. He does say when something is falling apart in your life, just let it fall apart. And I know that there's some things that are worth saving, but when something is falling apart and you go and try to fix it, and it holds for just a little bit, and then it starts falling apart again, and then you run and try to fix it, and it keeps repeating. For me, it's a sign that just let it go.
Yeah.
So that's one of the teachings and the new awareness that I have. And then the other one is that you just have to trust that life is going to unfold for you. And I forgot what the other one was.
Did you have it on your phone?
We'll pick it up. No, the other one was really, really good. Hold on, because I do want to add it, and we'll add it.
We'll just let it keep running. Go ahead, because I can edit this out.
Yeah. Let's see. So, let it fall apart. Oh my God, I can't believe it just left.
It's not on your phone?
No, I just thought about it, and I'm like, I need to mention that. It'll come. It's still recording?
It's still recording.
Okay. Okay, so Joe Dispenza talks about let it fall apart, and it looks like it left my mind right now.
All right. Well, let's go on to the how did you want to? Is that how you wanted to close it?
I wanted to close it with that.
Okay. So we're just missing that one piece then.
Hold on. Let me just get up and See if I can find it.
Yeah, I'd kind of like you put it on this one, but if not, I'll just kill it and we'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the second thing, Steve, is that Joe Dispenza talks about that when you can look back, at everything that you went through in your life, no matter how bad it was, no matter how terrible you felt, and when you can truly look back and say, I am so grateful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so grateful for everything that happened, because that made me into the person that I am right now. Every single thing that happened is so worth it in that moment. And that's when true healing happens. And I'm not talking about physical healing. I'm talking about beyond that. I'm talking about emotional healing and spiritual healing as well. I really believe that this diagnosis showed up to heal me. I know it sounds crazy, but it happened to heal me, to heal my emotions, my mind, and my spirit more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because, life is a journey. We're all on a journey. And, there's certainly highs and lows. And, the change that took place, though, after this journey, I mean, you talked about a few, and I'm sure there's many more changes that happened in your life where, with your house and your family and, just all of that change that you went through. And then for you to sit here today and tell us the story, I think it's just, it's amazing. And it's truly a modern miracle, which is really what this was about. It was about, having an interview with someone who just experienced a modern miracle. So, I can't thank you enough for doing this.
Thank you.
I think you did really good, and I think there's a really good message out there for people that, if you're searching and this is a big challenge that she overcame, and her journey is still going. In fact, it's probably just starting. So, we'll if something else breaks through, and we think it's of value, for the people watching to see it again, then we'll do a follow up. But great job, and
thank you,
and thank you all for watching, and I'm sure there's more to come.
Yeah, and my one advice for people, for anybody who's watching, is that always look for the gift. There's always a gift, and it's so important to trust the journey and to know that everything, I'm not going to say happens for a reason, but everything that shows up has a gift, and we just need to find it.
Yeah, very good. Well said. Okay. Thank you, everyone.